So in the corporate world, we're seeing a move away from cash and checks to a variety of electronic payment options, including B2B transfers, traditional wires, etc. But the majority of these are still based on fiat currencies. Can you tell us where you see digital currencies coming to the market in the coming years and how they may coexist with fiat? Who wants to kick us off there?
If I could maybe kick in here, Christy.
Thanks, Michael.
I'm personally a big fan of fiat. I think there's a lot of misapprehension and misdiagnosis in the sector. I mean, fiat currency is effectively a tax credit. It's been running very strongly for well over 300 years, pretty much in its current structure. The digitization of that has been going on for some time, and it certainly predates any of the popularity of these other currencies. Cryptocurrencies, well, we're buying and swapping random numbers with each other. I feel that, if you want to sit in the dark and swap numbers with other people, that's great, but it has no backing and no intrinsic value to it. And I believe a lot of the cryptocurrency people are kind of crypto cockroaches in the same way that we've kind of got gold bugs out there. So that's a bit contentious. Then we got the stable coins. These are basically baskets, and baskets have traditionally not done very well, whether they're SDRs or the WOKU, which was a big thing here 20 years ago, the World Currency Unit. So there's lots of attempts at baskets, and I think, if anything, COVID has really put paid to most of these. Governments wouldn't be able to do what they're currently doing around the world, several percentage points of GDP, supporting their economies if they were sitting within either a crypto or a stable coin type environment. So I don't think governments have got any interest in it. And as far as the crypto bugs if you listen very carefully to what either the Chinese or the Reichsbank or the Bank of England are actually saying, they're saying we might use a few technical elements which are in cryptocurrencies, and really all they're talking about is potentially time-stamping some of it onto a distributed ledger, but they won't be using the ledger. It's a direct account with the bank. And that, I think, has got lots of imminent changes in it, but they're not the changes of kind of free market libertarianism.
Anybody else want to weigh in here?
Yes, Marcus. Julian, you described our world perfectly. That's pretty much what we're doing. Just to kind of build on Julian's point, we've always taken the view that it is the application of the technology that really matters. And with blockchain and with digital assets, it really is a case of horses for courses, and they're not all the same. The technology has been developed and is being developed in a fine-tuned way for different purposes. So, we've used blockchain at Ripple for the cross-border payment problem. We've created an internet model so we can move value immediately using the cryptographic element of blockchain. And then with XRP, and to Michael's point, we use XRP as a method of exchanging cross-border very quickly. So the transactions that run over Ripple start in good old-fashioned dollars or sterling or yen, and end in good old-fashioned pesos or lira or yen. There's fiat at either end. So we have, just as Julian pointed out, we've targeted a pain point, which is the handling of liquidity globally, and XRP has been fine-tuned for that problem only, which is very different to how Bitcoin works and different to Libra thinking and et cetera, et cetera. And I think you're looking at blockchain, you're looking at digital assets, it's really important to kind of get below the surface and kind of get a feel for what these assets are being designed and used for. And that's you figure out the value that is either being delivered or not. The view we have is that fiat will be around forever. It's a fundamental element of the nation states. It has great strength, as Michael was articulating, and I still think that the tech that we and many other firms are developing will complement that, makes it stronger, rather than seeing it as an alternative to fiat as a store of value.
Well, I agree that the central banks have a vested interest in maintaining their fiat currencies because they're, clearly one of the main levers to manage their monetary policies, and then have hence their own financial and economic strengths. But perhaps where we are going with this is, as Julian suggested, was having the digital currencies become just another piece of the pie. So we've got different alternatives, and I agree with Michael that fiat currency will never disappear. There's too much vested interest in that, and there's a lot of trust in a lot of the major currencies in the world. Maybe not so much some of the developing world. But I guess the question is, from my end, how much do we see this going down market? We're certainly seeing it at the wholesale level. Some, Ripple's got a lot going on in the wholesale level. But what about in the retail and consumer level? Do we see digital currencies being adopted there at any point in the near future?
Yeah, if I can take that one. The focus we have is on retail remittance and small company flows. So we work with large banks, we work with small payment providers. The flow we currently have running that uses XRP into Philippines and Mexico, for example, these are mainly flows for individuals to individuals, small company to small company. So we're already touching the small guy in this model. And it's actually a really important point, because I think the future of cross-border payments is going to be shaped in the retail sector and the small company sector. They'll be shaped in Africa, Middle East, Far East. That's where it's all happening. The wholesale world, in comparison, I think will be slower to move. Will be a follower of what will be created and innovated in the retail and small company sector. But that's where we're seeing actually a lot of usage of the XRP currency.
Well, that's great. Thanks for setting me straight on that one, Marcus. I think it's time to take a couple of questions from the audience.